China has endured unprecedented heat waves, causing one of the largest rivers in the world to dry up. Right now, there are statues, wrecks, deities, and long-forgotten graves being exposed for the first time in hundreds, if not thousands of years. Let's look into some of these interesting and creepy finds. How could we not start with the Hunger Stones? Even their name sounds ominous. These rocks are currently being exposed through Germany and Europe. Hunger stones are warnings from previous generations as to what may lie ahead. The inscription on one famous stone reads, "If you see me, then weep." A harrowing sentence to read if your family is suffering at the hands of a drought. These rocks contain famine warnings and act as memorials. You can find them along the Elbe River, where many were erected in the 15th through the 19th centuries. With the water levels receding to a 500-year record low, many of these stones are now in the process of reappearing. A northern Czech town, close to the German border, holds the famous stone, the Děčín Hunger Stone. This stone has some of the earliest carvings from 1616, with traces of inscriptions relating to earlier times of drought in 1417 and 1473. During those times of drought, it would bring on a bad harvest, high food prices, starvation, hunger, and of course, death. Of course, drought and famine still have the same consequences today. Remnants from the Second World War are also being exposed and creating problems. From causing delays in shipping to residents being evacuated. The Danube River once covered many shipwrecks from World War II, but with the intense drought, there have been more than 20 hulls brought to light in a stretch of water near Prahovo in eastern Serbia. Not only a problem for navigation, these ships went down with some dangerous weapons and ammunition cargo on board, and that can pose a serious issue. In Italy, the rivers are at a 70-year low, which has also brought about the uncovering of both the recent and ancient past. Around 3,000 people were evacuated from their homes earlier this year in Mantua due to an undetonated 1,000-pound bomb. The army had to step in and carefully dispose of the partially submerged weapon. Another carcass of war, the large 50-meter Zabello, a cargo ship that served in the war, now baking in the sun. Taking a further step back into the 1st century, it appears that a bridge built by Roman Emperor Nero has been uncovered. This bridge was not one for everyday Roman citizens, but a specific one that he could use to easily visit all his worldly possessions on the right bank of the Tiber River. Plus, he could visit his mother, Agrippina, in her villa. Interesting fact, Nero would end up killing one of his wives and his mother. He was Rome's 5th emperor and built many structures in Italy, and he celebrated many untold violent victories abroad. But his true love was for the arts and chariot riding, and this took most of his time and money. Nero tried his best to rebuild Rome after great fires, but the drained coffers did not allow him to. He was declared a public enemy of the Roman state, and he ultimately killed himself at the age of 30 in 68 AD. Staying within Europe, there have also been many animals uncovered. Along the shores of Lake Como, you'll not only find George Clooney's lake house, but also the skull of a 100,000-year-old deer, along with the bizarre remains of hyenas, lions, and rhinos. So it appears that not only rivers and lakes are receding, but melting glaciers are also giving up their own secrets. Further items that appear to be up to 1,300 years old have been found in Norway. Due to retreating ice, it has exposed many treasures: Iron Age sandals, woolen tunics, and ancient arrows. Archaeologist Lars Pilo and his team believe the arrow is a relic from a reindeer hunting site. Across Norway, there have now been hundreds of Iron Age and early medieval relics being found over the last year, as the ice continues to melt. Southern Iraq has endured extreme droughts for the majority of 2022. As water fell daily, it finally exposed an ancient site at the bottom of a reservoir that has not been seen for hundreds of years, a 3,400-year-old city from the Mitanni Empire era. This was located along what was once the Tigris River. Remains included a palace, large buildings, and it was said to be an important center of the empire between 1550 and 1350 BC. Archaeologists believe a large earthquake occurred around the 1350 BC mark. The city was then abandoned and ultimately preserved underwater for hundreds of years. Now for the good stuff. What did they find? This city has been underwater for untold decades, but inside one of the buildings they discovered 5 ceramic jars containing over 100 tablets. The ancient script used on these was cuneiform, which was used throughout the Middle Eastern region at that time. This language is one of the oldest forms of writing known. People would use reeds on unfired clay tablets to record in wedge-shaped marks their information. This language even predates the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. We're sure the contents of these are being deciphered for further scientific and cultural study. However, just as the scientists had begun to enjoy the ancient secrets, it appears Mother Nature had another plan, and the 3,000-year-old city is now back underwater. So for now, cross this place off your travel bucket list and enjoy the images. Crossing the ocean, we enter the drought-stricken land of the United States. Lake Mead is normally a large water reservoir for the immense Hoover Dam. Currently, in 2022, the lake sits at an all-time low of 30% capacity, allowing the exposed shore to give up plenty of secrets. Once a perfectly secluded body of water for a stunning date night on a boat, to a criminal rubbish dump, Lake Mead is now a place for creepy investigation by the public. Each day, as the dam dries out a little more, some other ghoulish item from the past is revealed. Boat wrecks, old jet skis, trash, and a body in a barrel are just some of the items recently exposed. The man in the barrel appears to be from the 1970s or 1980s. He suffered a gunshot wound and is most likely linked to the mafia lifestyle of the Las Vegas Strip, which is only about a 30-minute drive from Lake Mead. However, the Clark County Sheriff's Office and Las Vegas PD have declined to comment on the items or people being found in Lake Mead. There has been one story of closure that has emerged from Lake Mead. 20 years ago, the Erndt family went out for a night of boat riding on Lake Mead when it turned deadly. 42-year-old father Thomas Erndt disappeared under the water while boating with his family. His body was never recovered until the exposed shoreline gave up his bones. Through DNA testing, the family received a confirmed result, putting to rest any doubts. His son even posted on his Instagram page how grateful he was of the news that his dad can finally rest in peace. The other bones that have been found are in the general swimming area. Many other families that share sad memories of that lake will also be looking to put loved ones to rest. From the United States to China, we have further relics exposed due to the unprecedented drought striking the nation. The banks of the Yangtze River are now at an all-time low, revealing Buddhist relics not seen in centuries. The Yangtze is the largest river in Asia, and for centuries has provided drinking water, irrigation, transportation, and is home to the largest hydroelectric power station in the world. In line with the hunger stones of Europe, it's an ominous sign that this mighty river is so low. 3 Buddhist statues have been slowly revealed in 2022. The stunning carvings are thought to have come from the Qing and Ming dynasties, which means they were built between the 1400s and the 1600s. The middle statue is that of a monk sitting on a lotus petal, a symbol of purity and spiritual awakening. The statues are believed to have been built along the river to bless the passing boats, as this river was a vital part of daily life. In the present day, these 3 statues have been attracting many visitors. some of whom are even willing to swim up for a closer look. Seeing the statues is incredible, but the reason behind it is concerning. Not only is the Yangtze at a low, but over 60 of China's rivers have dried up, as many scientists are now saying global warming is beginning to show its impact. This moment in history, where we find mysterious and creepy relics of the past being exposed, should be a moment to pause and to think about what lies ahead for the world if no changes are made. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.